In today's video, we're taking on San Francisco's own Ineke with her latest release called Idyllwild. Comes in this box right here. You're also going to have a chance at winning a full bottle of Idyllwild if you are in the USA or Canada, so please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. If this is your first time on this channel and or if you haven't subscribed yet, please click the subscribe button below and also click the bell icon so you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. And that's right, today we're talking all about Idyllwild by Ineke. So most of you are probably not aware of Ineke. She is a San Francisco indie niche perfumer. I've met her many times. I've known of her for quite some time now, but you probably know of a fragrance of hers called Field Notes from Paris. That's probably her most popular fragrance community fragrance, but she does have a new one called Idyllwild, and it comes in this box. As I said, it's a 2017 launch. It's considered an aromatic fougere, which I'm a huge fan of that style of fragrance, and a 2.5 ounce that comes in this bottle, or 75 ml, retails for $110. And the fragrance is named or inspired by the city or the community of Idyllwild, which is in Southern California, I guess in the mountains of Riverside County, or San Jacinto Mountains in Riverside County, which is also very close to Palm Springs down there. So you kind of get an idea of what type of a smell this is, if it's inspired by this area. And you could see the photos of the trees on here. Lots of trees, pine forest, that comes to mind, all of that stuff. So the fragrance comes in this box like this. It's a really, really beautifully designed box. And the bottles are very tall. We'll open it up right now, but here you've got the name Ineke, and of course Idyllwild is right up here. So this slips off. And again, this is very, very beautifully packaged. It comes in a box like this. On the back you have some writing. Actually, it's all around from here to here. And of course Ineke is right there. And then the box lifts open like this, and the bottle is inside. So here's a bottle, and of course Idyllwild is right here, and Ineke is right up there. So an aromatic fougere. I think fougere style of fragrances, or aromatic fougere style of fragrances, are becoming really popular all of a sudden. And I love fougeres. One of my favorites is Fougere Royale by Houbigant, and this is a much different than Houbigant's Fougere Royale. This is more aromatic and more citrusy, at least. A little fruity also. So for notes here, you've got at the top rhubarb tea, grapefruit, and lavender. In the heart notes, you've got Big Sur sagebrush, cypress, and fir needle. And in the base notes, you've got cardamom, woods, oud, and musk. So to me, this is actually California in the fall captured in a bottle. I can say that about it, especially since you've got that Big Sur sagebrush, and it's inspired by the community of Idyllwild in the Southern California hills and mountains. And in the fall, when it's just cool outside, but you got the warmth of the sun during the day, it smells. There's a smell if you're walking around, not the forest necessarily, but where lots of trees growth and things like that are. The fragrance smells very close to that, if not very similar. So the fragrance starts out a bit citrusy with the lavender and the rhubarb tea, I guess. It's fresh at the top, very fresh, but still kind of aromatic because you've got the lavender there. And immediately goes into that Big Sur sagebrush. And if you don't know where Big Sur is right down Monterey, south of Monterey, just a little past Monterey. It's beautiful, and lots of trees, and if you can imagine, lots of trees there, tall redwoods and sequoia trees, and there's rivers and things like that, and there's a certain smell there, and they've actually captured it here in that Big Sur sagebrush a note or a chord here. You've got cypress, it's woody, and of course fir needle. Those are very key here, and you can definitely smell them in the heart. It does smell like those notes. I've always loved the way cypress trees, and I've always loved the way fir needle smells. So those those are definitely certainly captured here. And then in the base notes, lots more woods come through. There's a little bit of spiciness from the cardamom. Some oud does pop through, but not big. This is not a big oud fragrance. So it is mentioned, and it's mentioned that there is oud. Of course, most likely there is, because these notes come from Ineke.com. But it's faint. The oud is very, very faint. I hardly pick it up, but you can get traces of it. And of course, there's musk. It's a little musky in the dry down as well. With the combo of those notes in the dry down is beautiful. But what I love about this fragrance is the top notes and the heart notes, because that's where it really reminds me of California. And it's, like I said again, it's definitely California in a bottle in the fall. This is really, really smells like fall in California when you're walking in parks where there's lots of redwood trees and things like that. Now I've met Ineke many times, but I also met up with her at Pitti Fragranze, and I shot an interview of her. I'm gonna pop that on here and let you know herself what the fragrance is all about, Idyllwild. And you can hear from the perfumer herself tell you about this release, because best to hear the inspiration and things like that from the perfumer.
Hi there, I'm Ineke Idyllwild, and I have an eponymously named perfume collection. I started it in 2006. I'm a classically trained perfumer. I studied perfumery in France, and I have what I now call my alphabetical collection. It's sort of my signature collection. I'm up to letter I. That's my latest one. So each fragrance follows the letters of the alphabet, but then of course they each have their own name. And I is for Idyllwild. It's a little mountain town in California, in the Jacinto Mountains, just east of Los Angeles. And I was there actually quite recently. And it's this very forested, pretty high elevation town. And so the fragrance, of course, which I have here, is very, sort of has a lot of evergreen notes. In fact, it's got pine oil, cypress oil. It's got what else? Fir needle oil. It's got a sagebrush by this really interesting producer named John Steele, and it's like wild crafted sagebrush from Big Sur. It has a citrusy top and mostly grapefruit, and but it also has a rhubarb note, and very musky dry down, sort of cocktail of musks, so that there's actually some nice longevity on the skin. My fragrances are sold in a lot of independent boutiques, stores like Tiger Lily Perfumery in San Francisco, and you can also find them on my website, Ineke.com.
Thanks for watching that little clip. But going back to Idyllwild, I think best seasons to wear this fragrance, I think, is spring for sure, summer for sure, and definitely in the fall. I find this to be like a very fall appropriate fragrance. And I know she's been working on this one for quite some time, because we had the San Francisco Fragrance Salon of not this year, but last year, and she was launching it then, but I think some stuff had happened, but it's finally out. And when I had first smelled it at the Fragrance Salon last year, I really liked what I smelled, and I was looking forward for the release. And as I said, it's finally out, and you can get a bottle yourself. It's $110 at Ineke.com. But you can also get it at Tiger Lily Perfumery here in San Francisco. I'll have links in the info box. But if you're into this style of fragrance, I would recommend you try it. It's very refreshing, very aromatic, very herbal, and very fresh. I just really like it. And it's the kind of fragrance I wear the days that I don't want like complicated fragrances, very easy to wear fragrances. And it's something that smells great. It's pleasant. People around you also like it, and it just makes you kind of like a great, happy experience wearing fragrances. So there you have it. That's Ineke's Idyllwild. It's out now. If you're curious to try it, do click the links below and get yourself samples or decants perhaps, or even buy a bottle. But if you want to participate in the full bottle giveaway, this is open to USA and Canada residents. All you have to do is make sure you're subscribed to this channel and put a comment down and let me know what your favorite thing about California is, and put down your state and or country if you're in Canada. so that we can qualify you. Make sure I can see your subscriptions, and other than that, good luck with the giveaway. And if you're curious to find out about Ineke, as mentioned, she does have a very popular fragrance called Field Notes from Paris. It's a tobacco, tonka tobacco, I think, tonka bean. Check that one out as well. But this is all about this fragrance here. And I'm sure you're gonna really enjoy something like this because it's really refreshing. Also guys, let me know your thoughts on Ineke fragrances. Are you familiar with the brand? Are you familiar with Idyllwild? Are you familiar with Field Notes from Paris? Let me know, put down your comments so we can get a conversation started. Please like this video, please share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one, goodbye.